What's good, guys? Today we're going to be ranking the discography of The Devil Wears Prada. 9 full-length albums and 1 EP from worst to best. Keep in mind, this is one of my favorite bands of all time, and every album from 9 onwards is at least like an 8 out of 10. Projects placed 7 and beyond are all incredible, so don't think just because I put a certain album or project a little lower on the list that I don't like it, cause these guys have an incredibly consistent discography with so many masterpieces, so it was a little difficult to rank, but I think I got it. So make sure to comment your list down below and let's get to the ranking. Let's go. At number 10, we have 818 from 2015. This is easily their weakest album in my opinion. The production on it is dry, the guitar tone kinda sucks, and stylistically it's nothing new. It's more of the same, just worse, I think. It's not a bad album by any means, but for this band's standards, it pales in comparison when you compare it to the rest of their albums. War and Sailor's Prayer are fantastic tracks though, especially War, that's a great one. At number 9, we have Dear Love, A Beautiful Discord. This is an underrated debut. It's cheesy, but it's also really fun to listen to. The riffage is pretty tight and both Mike and Jeremy sound great. And it's also quite consistent. Rosemary Had an Accident is my favorite track personally, so yeah, good debut honestly. It's not their most developed project, but I still think it's an enjoyable listen. At number 8, we have their latest album called Flowers. This album has some phenomenal highs, but also some forgettable lows. It's definitely their poppiest and most accessible record, and it's very high on sugar sonically, but not in a bad way. I think it's a reasonable step forward artistically, and I just love how they keep evolving their sound on each record. And this album is no different. I don't mind the direction they went in on this album. They can most definitely pull it off, and the proof is in the first half. It just needs to be a little more consistent and have more guitars and also have more Mike. Mike is too good of a vocalist to not utilize him. But other than that, I think this album has some great catchy choruses, some great melodies, some emotional moments as well. The production is massive. And the first half is really fantastic. After track 10, the album unfortunately dips in quality significantly. Cure Me is one of the worst songs they've ever put out. The first 8 tracks are all incredible, excluding Ritual. I don't think it's anywhere near their best record, but I also think it's overhated. It's still a very catchy and enjoyable listen in my opinion. And in terms of the highlights, I mean, you have Everybody Knows, which is an absolutely generational track. It's honestly one of my favorite songs I've heard this decade. It's just so nostalgic. When You're Gone is also amazing. That breakdown is sick. Mike's vocals are just chilling. For You and When the Flowers Never Grow are also very good melodic track. And I like the bonus track, Play the Old Shit, despite some of the cheesy lyrics. So yeah, Flowers is really not that bad. I think it's actually a good album, but it is inconsistent, and that second half really drags down the score for me. At number 7, we have the Zombie EP. I included this EP because it's their most relevant. It's heavy and hard-hitting. It has some fun electronics, and the vocal chemistry between Mike and Jeremy is top tier. The riffs are viciously aggressive, the drums are in your face, and Mike just sounds brutal. Escape, the intro, is one of my favorite Prada songs, easily. Outnumbered is also great, so a really good EP, a classic metalcore EP. I can't complain. At number 6, we have With Roots Above and Branches Below. This is an influential metalcore / crapcore classic. It has great guitar work and tasteful cleans, fun electronics and engaging songwriting. There's a really good balance between heavy and melodic stuff on this album, and it's just a really fun listen. The first 4 tracks are absolutely incredible, like Des Moines' I Hate Buffering, Assistant to the Regional Manager. The second half isn't quite as strong, but it's still solid. A really good album overall, to be honest. At number 5, we have Dead Throne. This is arguably their heaviest album. It has sharp and hard-hitting riffs, punchy grooves, and great production. It also has sparse yet great appearances from Jeremy. And Mike sounds vicious as always. And it's a very consistent and concise album. There's maybe only 1 or 2 tracks that are kind of just mild. Everything else is pretty much great. Vengeance, Born to Lose, Forever Decay. Fantastic tracks. Really, really great album. At number 4, we have The Act from 2019. This album is The Devil Wears Prada's creative rebirth. It's a smooth transition from metalcore into alt-rock. It's very unique and weird, yet still tasteful and memorable. It's very catchy, but it's not lacking any depth sonically. The songwriting is very emotional, and Mike sounds raw on this album. I love how passionate and emotionally powerful his vocals are on this record. I think from Mike's perspective, this is probably my favorite Prada album. It's energetic and engaging, there's beautiful melodies in it, a very striking and peculiar aesthetic, and I love the crunchy guitar tone as well. Some of the doom metal elements on some of the latter tracks are really fascinating too. And overall, it's very sonically ripe and personal. Numb is one of their best songs easily, I love that song. Wave of Youth is also a ridiculous banger. Both Mike's and Jeremy's vocals on this track are phenomenal. Chemical is a classic. And I also love The Thread and Ask Kids. It's a very good album. I love the act. Like a 9 out of 10 for me. At number 3 we have Plaques. I originally thought it was pronounced as Plagues, but apparently it's Plaques, according to Mike. This is one of the most fun albums ever made. Not only is it hugely influential, but it also has some of the greatest melodic metalcore riffs of all time on it. Jeremy's clean vocals are orgasmic on this album. The electronic synths and even organs on some tracks are really entertaining. The breakdowns are also really punchy, and the whole album is very dynamic and inventive sonically. There's no stale moments on this album, and there's a lot of fun elements on this album. HTML Rules, dude, is one of their best tracks. Scorpions Deathlock is absolutely disgustingly heavy. I love that one too. That little beatdown breakdown is ridiculous. And then the song is called is amazing too, but honestly, almost every single track is incredible on this project. Super underrated stuff. At number 2 we have Transit Blues from 2016. This is by far their most artsy and ambitious release. It shows a massive artistic evolution from their previous project. And I love the post-metal influence on the guitars. Some of the more ambient sections are amazing. It's a unique yet really rewarding listen. It's a grower of an album. There's a lot of depth to it sonically and lyrically. It's not something I was obsessed with on first listen, but the more I listened to it, the more I just realized how incredible it is from front to back. The album's very emotionally powerful, texturally rich, and the immersive atmosphere are very unique and beautiful as well. The songwriting is captivating and propulsive, and both the vocals and the instrumentation are generational. It's an artistic statement of an album, and it's totally valid to call this their magnum opus too. In any other band's discography, this would have easily been number 1. I just love how sonically dynamic and gripping this album is. And the lyrics are also very profound. I think it's their best album lyrically, I'd say. Pure perfection, from front to back. The best tracks for me include Daughter, Praise Poison, This Condition, To the Key of Evergreen. But really, it's the whole track list, so yeah. And at number 1, we have the one and only Color Decay. This is one of my most replayed and honestly one of my favorite albums ever made. I know it's a little divisive. Some of the OG The Devil Wears Prada fans who prefer the classic metalcore sound didn't like how catchy and accessible this album is. And I just think that's ridiculous. It's not like the album is lacking depth. It's truly melancholic perfection from front to back, this album. At times it can be emotionally devastating, and the emo-tinged melodies are just beautiful. It's an amazing blend of alternative metal and metalcore, and it's honestly right up my alley. As melodic and emotional as it can be, it's also pretty high octane and very energetic. The drums are punchy, the riffs are tight, the production is amazing. It's not overproduced, but it's also not underproduced, it just sounds perfect. The album just shines in fantastic simplicity. Again, just because the album is more simple doesn't make it worse. This and Transit Blues are very much different album experiences, but that's just what this band gives to you, man. With each album something different, and I love it, honestly. Mike Raneka's performances on this album are just so raw, I have to say. His screams just feel so cathartic. And also I have to mention Jeremy, who sounds incredible. This is easily his best performance on any TDWP album. Now, the album is lyrically blunt and very straightforward, but I don't think that's a bad thing at all. The lyrics are strikingly emotional and relatable. They feel genuine and authentic. On tracks like 25, Mike is pouring his soul out and you could just hear it. In terms of the highlights, it's really the whole album, but if I had to pick a couple of tracks, I'd say Sacrifice. That breakdown at the end is absolutely generational. After the chorus, you think the song is ending with the feedback, and then it just rises again and drops into this monkey groove with dotted note chugs. It's disgusting. Watchtower is also an absolute masterpiece. The melodic metalcore riffs on this track are generational. Trapped is a crushing song as well. That's one of my favorites too. The lyrics are incredible on this song. Very emotionally powerful. I also love Broken. Sure, it's kind of a cheesy track, but it doesn't feel generic or annoying. It just feels very authentic and endearing. I think it helps that the melodies are just so beautiful. I don't even care that the lyrics are so straightforward. I actually think it works. The writing works perfectly with this type of instrumentation. This blend of metalcore, emo, and alt metal, alt rock. The same type of lyrics that were on Transit Blues wouldn't fit on an album like this, in my opinion. It was calling for something else, and they pulled it off perfectly, flawlessly. Oh, and also I have to mention the track Noise. This is a banger. Those riffs with those harmonics are insane. The chorus from Jeremy is beautiful, and that ending breakdown is just vicious, feral. It's such a phenomenal listen from front to back. I absolutely love this project. There's so much replay value in it, it's insane. I've been bumping it ever since it came out. At times, almost every single day, so as much as it hurts putting Transit Blues at number 2, because that's such an artistic masterpiece, Color Decay is genuinely one of the most generational albums I've ever listened to. So there you go. That's the ranking of the Devil Wears Prada's discography from worst to best. Please let me know your list in the comments. Which albums do you like the most? Which ones do you dislike the most? And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.